Okay, good evening all. So today I have a special guest, Mr. Bhaskar. Bhaskar is the Richie Benaud of Menza app in terms of cricket. He's well learned and we all know him through Eat, Sleep, Drink Cricket. So today we have a very interesting topic. The topic is, so before we go to the 2023 World Cup, which we want to review and do a lot of analysis on it, we wanted to know why we won the 2011 World Cup. What went right in 2011 World Cup, which is it possible to replicate in 2023, which we'll find out probably in the next episode. But this one we are talking only about 2011 World Cup, why we won, and what were the reasons for it. So over to you, Bhaskar. Bhaskar, please tell all our viewers why we won the 2011 World Cup. What was so special about it?
Thank you, Rajiv. Good evening, everyone. First of all, the preparation was wonderful. We had probably the best captain who's ever captained in any form of limited overs cricket, and I have no doubts about it. And no other captain has been so successful. We've had Ricky Ponting, who has got 4 ICC trophies. Clive Lloyd has got 2 ICC trophies. We have Darren Sammy, who's got 2 ICC trophies. But in between them, we have Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who's got 3 ICC trophies. World Cup, Champions Trophy, and of course the inaugural World T20. And of course, the kind of success he's had leading T20 cricket, Chennai Super Kings, I think it's phenomenal. The great thing we did was our planning was perfect. I think we knew Sachin is slowly coming to his end of his career, and he was wrapped in cotton wool, and he used to pick and choose. A lot of people would criticize it, but we knew that he's still India's number 1 opening batsman in T20 in ODI cricket. So I think we had a great team, but we also had great teams in other World Cups like 2003, 2007. If you see, we had an absolutely great team, but we came up short. 2003, of course, we reached the finals, but we couldn't get over the line. So I think the planning was wonderful. The 14 that went into the 14 or 15 that was picked was also like absolutely perfect, I would say, except for maybe Piyush Chawla. Of course, Srishant got in because Praveen Kumar got injured. But for that, I think maybe instead of Yusuf Pathan, you could have had Rahul Dravid, or probably a second wicket keeper, if in case. That's the one thing we didn't have covered, was a second wicket keeper. So I think the planning was good. I think we had a great team. The preparation was good, and we went into the World Cup very, very confident. Yeah, what do you think, Rajiv?
Yeah, great point. And I think Piyush Chawla's pick was because of the leg spin he offered. At that point of time in limited overs cricket, India was not having the best of leg spinners. So I think it was between him and Amit Mishra. Amit Mishra was not playing, so they got Piyush Chawla to do the job, and he could bat a bit, and that's one of the things. The other thing was, I agree with you on the wicketkeeper part, but I think Dhoni, that's where he knew that he would play all the games because of the fitness he had. Virat Kohli was supposed to keep in case something happens to MS Dhoni, which not many people know, but Kohli could keep. But for a full match, he would have kept, I don't know, I mean, he's never done that job, right? So that's something which is.
Of course, some talk was that Suresh
Raina also could do. Now, there is an interesting part. So, at the start of the 3 ODIs, they played with Yusuf Pathan. They dropped and got Suresh Raina. Though Yusuf Pathan hit those 4 or 5 sixes towards the end with either Ireland or Netherlands, I don't know, he finished the match. It was a tight match. So, once Suresh Raina came into the game, so they lost with South Africa, the whole dynamic of the team changed. So, how do you think that 7 did?
See, Yusuf Pathan was not that complete a bowler that you would probably keep a much superior batsman like Suresh Raina out. Of course, probably Yusuf Pathan was a slightly better bowler than Suresh Raina. But with Yuvraj bowling brilliantly, I think that gave Dhoni a lot of confidence in getting Suresh Raina in. I think that 7 is probably the best 7 we've ever had in a single team. Of course, if you can say that you can probably have Ganguly in the team or Rohit Sharma in the team, but a team that really played. We ever had fantasy teams, but that could never really play in a game together. But a team that played for India, I think that was the top 7 was probably the strongest ever batting lineup. Because Suresh Raina coming in at number 7, then we had Harbhajan and at 8 and Zahir Khan at 9. I think that was really strong. Even Srishant could bat a bit. Probably Munaf Patel was the only one who couldn't really wield a willow. So that was probably one of the major reasons. And Yuvraj bowling 10 overs consistently was probably the
The
turning
game
factor,
changer.
the game changer. Because even if you remember the World Cup, the knockout stages, Yuvraj kept bowling those 10 overs. Even if, when, say, in the semi-finals, he just got out for a duck, if I'm right.
Yeah.
I think the
To
first.
Wahab.
Yeah,
Wahab Riaz, yeah.
Virat Kohli got out and the next ball, but still he bowled those 10 overs and kept taking crucial wickets.
2 wickets.
I think all those 3 games, all the 3 knockout games, he took 2 wickets each and all vital wickets. I think that was a game changer. Of course, the semi-final was a Yuvraj, the quarter-final was a Yuvraj show, pardon. I think that was probably one of my favorite all-time ODI games because the way India knocked out the 3-time defending world champions, I think that was probably one of the, because Australia didn't know how to lose. People say you have to. Australia knew somehow, even if they tried to lose, they would end up winning. If you remember the match against Pakistan in 2003,
Yes.
Andrew Simons, the way they won that game, it was looking like Australia would, Pakistan would easily dominate and win with the kind of great bowlers they had. But Australia would still win. So I think that was probably one of the main reasons. Suresh Raina playing really changed the whole dynamics of the World Cup.
Yes, I agree.
What do you think, Rajiv?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And so there's one point which I was bringing in here. And sorry, I'm going to 2023, this current state. I'm not talking about the World Cup itself. But I'm just bringing this to the notice that Rohit Sharma was very disappointed that he lost out on a place. He was there in the mix for the last 2 years. In fact, played a wonderful knock in the WB series in 2008 in the final, along with Sachin Tendulkar. Yeah, so he was there in the mix, but he did not get picked. Obviously, they took Yusuf Pathan, and Yusuf Pathan made a century in South Africa just before the World Cup started, and that's what tilted the scales for Yusuf Pathan. So, my thing is that today they may look at some batsmen like Rohit Sharma, who probably had a better record. Yusuf Pathan was also picked because he could bowl. Suresh Raina was picked because he could also bowl. Today you have a scenario where you do not have batters who can bowl. Why? In 10 years, what has changed? 10, 12 years, what has changed? And this scenario is there for the last 5 years, we can say.
Absolutely. See, I think one thing I would say is Rohit Sharma was also competing for a place in the middle order, number 4, number 5.
Yes.
I think with the arrival of Kohli and he just walking into the team, the kind of run chases he made and the kind of maturity he showed, I think that was one reason with Rohit Sharma getting dropped, because that was the position. If you remember, Kohli was batting at number 4 and Rohit Sharma also was a number 4 batsman in those days. So I think Kohli's arrival also made a huge difference in Rohit Sharma getting dropped. And if I remember correctly, he went to Sri Lanka a few months back and he just kept failing. So I think that was one reason where he could not make it. His career changed after he started opening.
Yes.
That's when he started really becoming a regular member of the limited overs side. And the same thing continued in Test cricket, if you remember. Rohit Sharma was still batting in the middle order in Test cricket, and only when he started opening did his career change. So
today he's the captain.
Yeah, so that's a huge change of fortunes. Thing is, what's happening is in T20 cricket, that's the difference between T20 and ODI cricket. T20 cricket, average bowlers can't get away, and the captains are not willing to take that risk. Because it's going to be 4 overs and you have 5 bowlers, so why not go for your best bowlers, and you don't really need a deep batting lineup. So that's one reason. T20 cricket is a major reason a lot of batsmen have stopped bowling. Shreyas Iyer used to bowl. Surya Kumar Yadav was so-called batting all-rounder in his earlier days. He has completely stopped bowling. I don't even know whether he has bowled an over in international cricket.
I think that's a good point. Yeah.
Shreyas Iyer has bowled a few overs. I've seen him bowl a few overs, but I think that's one reason. Rohit Sharma, of course, is back troubles. He has stopped bowling. Kohli's complicated bowling action was the reason probably he was told to stop bowling, because being one of the top batsmen in the world, probably the best ever ODI batsman, people didn't want him to risk bowling. So I think his complicated bowling action was one reason. But I think T20 cricket, where part-timers are hardly used. Like you never had a Suresh, even Chennai Super Kings bowling with a Suresh Raina. So I think that's one reason where senior batsmen have stopped bowling. What do you think, Rajiv?
I think it's a good point. Initially, they were batting deep. There were a lot of mix of all-rounders and all, and it's going to go in that way only. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because now we have the 12th player, the substitution also, which means that only T20 cricket is going towards substitutions, where only specialists play. So it's a great point. I agree with you. Let's sum up 2011 World Cup. So last 2 points. batting we all know. So you spoke about batting. Batting was good, extremely good. The best seven you're saying. How was the bowling good? And how would you rate Dhoni's captaincy? Where was it? I mean, I know that you spoke about the best limited overs cricket captain. I'm in full agreement. But what was special about that tournament which Dhoni made what he is?
See, one thing Dhoni did was India never like crumbled under pressure. If you remember in the 90s, we would see India would be in a good position. Say, if you remember the Tri-Series final in South Africa in '96,
Yes.
where Rahul Dravid scored that 81. India needed 55 runs of 60 balls with say 6 or 7 wickets in hand.
Correct. Jadeja and Azharuddin were there.
Yeah, and then we just collapsed. Jadeja hit a like ball to I think deep.
I think long
Deep cover, I think, if I'm right. And then from there we collapsed. So we would lose from like winning situations while chasing. Of course, Ajay Jadeja was a good batsman when India batted first, like we saw in the World Cup quarterfinal of '96. But chasing, we didn't, except for Robin Singh, who had a cool head and he won a few matches chasing, difficult matches. We did not really chase well in those days, especially in big games. So that was one major confidence. Even if we don't bat first, it's okay. We're going to chase. We have Yuvraj, we have Dhoni, we have Suresh Raina. All of them were players who knew how to chase. Not just like Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Suresh Raina, though he was not an all-time great as a limited overs player, but quite cool in chasing. If you remember the World Cup quarterfinal, we lost Dhoni.
Yes.
I think we thought it was going to be difficult. But then the way Suresh Raina came in and played, of course, Yuvraj played an absolute blinder of a knock. And the way Suresh Raina gave him confidence, I can never forget the six he hit of Bretley. I think that was probably one of the best chases we've had in a huge game.
Correct.
Of course, World Cup finals, Dhoni just, I think by the time Gautam Gambhir got out, India was in a winning position.
Yes.
And with Mahendra Singh Dhoni in, we knew, though still Gambhir's dismissal caused a bit of butterflies in the stomach because it's a World Cup final. India needed 53 or 56. But again, Yuvraj came and played a good knock. People don't remember that knock much because of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Yuvraj stayed not out with 24 25, but they were crucial knocks. Because if Yuvraj had fallen, anything could have happened with Muralidharan having overs up his sleeve, with Suresh Raina coming in, and then if you lose one more wicket and then you are into the tail. So I think Yuvraj, Dhoni and Suresh Raina playing at that 5-6 position was absolutely vital. We still have a great top order with, even when Dhawan was playing, with Dhawan and Rohit Sharma, with Virat Kohli, we had a top 3 like we had in 2011. But after that, Hardik Pandya, Ravindra Jadeja, they're all good players. I'm not saying they're bad players, but can they score a 120 not out? Can they score a 140 not out or a 95 not out? At best, they can score a 60 or a 70 not out to win you games. And that's why we lack. We need a top 7 or at least 6 batsmen who are absolutely brilliant, who can win games. I think only person who we had of that sort was Rishabh Pant.
Yes.
And unfortunately,
he played that knock of 125 in England.
Yeah.
I think Shreyas Iyer also played a couple of knocks chasing and being not out also. But we'll come to 2023 World Cup. We'll close this with your closing comment. Which is that one player you believe in that 2011 World Cup? That kind of player 2023 we are still missing. One player, just that one player. I'll give you my player. According to me, I will not take Yuvraj's name because Yuvraj is too big a name. But according to me, for me that Virat Kohli in that type of role which was there, who was holding his horses for that number 4, we missed that kind of batter today who's heavily dependent, who will score that century at 4. Who's your...
See, I would still, personally my choice is Virat Kohli bats at number 4.
Yeah.
And then we have Gill at 3, so we make up for what we lose.
Correct.
But for me, that's Suresh Raina at number 7.
Okay.
That was the defining thing. Having a pure batsman who has a ODI average of 36, who has scored centuries, and who has a strike rate of 92, and that's what we are missing. Of course, apart from Yuvraj.
Yes, Yuvraj I think was a big... I think you players like Yuvraj you can't replace.
Yuvraj and Dhoni, but I think we surely can get players at this level of Suresh Raina at number 7 who can win you games. And I think that's where Jadeja and Hardik Pandya aren't good enough. They are good players at 7, 8 or 9 where they become, they chip in with good runs. But at best, probably Hardik Pandya at 7 could do the job of what Raina did. And then Jadeja plays at 8. Then we have a deep batting lineup.
Yeah. So we'll come to 2023 World Cup. thank you, Bhaskar, for all your views and all this thing. So this is the sum up of 2011 World Cup. We'll see how we can compare it to 2023 World Cup. Thank you, Bhaskar, and thank you so much.
Thanks.